We've all heard the term pretty privilege being used around the realm of social media, but do we understand how pretty privilege or the halo effect plays a role in how humans interact with each other? Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I decided that I wanted to talk about pretty privilege / the halo effect and where you being placed on the look scale plays a role in how you're treated in society. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this specifically is because in recent years, I have seen firsthand how looks play a role in shaping how people interact with you, how you're treated by the opposite sex, and how generally life is much more easier. Well, debatable. According to an article on verywellmind.com titled "What is the Halo Effect?", the halo effect is a type of cognitive bias in which our overall impression of a person influences how we feel and think about their character. For instance, this bias can lead to preconceived ideas that attractive people, or those that we consider conventionally attractive, possess more positive attributes such as intelligence and kindness, regardless of anything supporting these assumptions. The concept of the halo effect was first introduced by psychologist Edward Thorndike in the 1920s, and he observed that people tend to assume that individuals with more positive attributes also possess other positive qualities. Why is it that those we consider attractive typically get better treatment? According to a 2011 study from the Royal Society of London found that your looks play a role in how you're treated in different social aspects of your life. For example, when you go to an interview, the interviewee judges you based on your personality or intelligence, but they don't know you yet, so they make assumptions based on how you look. The more appealing you look physically, the more positive the assumptions people make about you. But what is even beauty? I understand that beauty is subjective depending on where you're located geographically, the culture you identify with, or the generation you were raised in. However, there are certain beauty standards that are just universal. So in this video, I'm going to be focusing on the beauty standards in the West. So in the West, skinny white women with blonde hair and blue eyes are considered the beauty standard and anything close to whiteness, which is why for many years it's been a struggle for black women to keep up with these beauty standards because black women are on the other end of that spectrum. That's why you hear things like pretty for a black girl or are you mixed with anything? And trust me, I know firsthand how infuriating that can be. And I'll make a video on this topic another day because I just have a lot to say on this and I just think it needs its own video. Anyone who knows me well knows that I'm a fitness freak, which means that I watch a lot of fitness content. So as you can imagine, my For You page is oversaturated with fitness videos. One day I stumbled across a girl who went through an 100-pound weight loss journey, and she made a video describing how when she lost the weight, she was treated significantly different in comparison to before she lost the weight. She spoke about being the bigger / unattractive one out of her friends and guys not approaching her, and I know how it feels to be the unapproached friend. She went on to say that when guys did approach her, they did so under the pretenses of wanting to get to know her, all the while the motives behind it was it being a dare or taking one for the team so that his friend could talk to her friend without there being any distractions, or it being about a hookup, or them not publicly claiming her. She posted her before and after pictures so you could see how significantly different she looks. She's now considered conventionally attractive, and not only is she treated better by men, but she also lost a few friends along the way whilst embarking on her weight loss journey, so I thought that was interesting to say the least. Again, going back to the point made earlier about looks playing a role in how you're treated, in the context of Ted Bundy, the halo effect played a significant role in how he was perceived because even though he was a serial killer, he was able to use his looks to charm the public, which led many people, including law enforcement, to give him the benefit of the doubt and to even overlook and dismiss any of his crimes. I understand that looks aren't everything and that looks eventually fade and what matters is on the inside, but I think it would be a tiny bit delusional to underestimate how much looks play a role in how the world treats you. Ask those who got bullied for their looks growing up. Growing up, I got bullied for my looks, and I personally feel like in recent years I've undergone a glow up. So, it could be that the older people get, the less superficial people are, but I've noticed how people treat me since the glow up, and it is vastly different from how I was treated prior to that. When I was in school, I was the quiet, nerdy girl, the teacher's pet, and when I left secondary school and I went to college, I didn't have to wear that ugly school uniform anymore that didn't do anything for the shape I didn't have anyway, which meant I could wear more fitted clothes. I started experimenting more with makeup. I did my hair how I wanted to because I no longer had to abide by the annoying dress codes that were implemented by my school. I saw college as a chance to reinvent myself, so I did exactly just that. And sure enough, I got noticed more. People treated me better. Even 3 of my college lecturers would even refer to me as pretty whenever they saw me. In fact, there'd be times where I would hand in my coursework late and they would let it slide a few times. Although I changed myself physically, on the inside I was still the shy, quiet, unconfident, nerdy girl that was unapproached. And that's the point I want to get across. Going back to the plus-sized girl that I spoke about earlier, although she lost the weight, she said that she still felt like the big girl even after losing all of that weight. And you can make changes to yourself physically, but it doesn't change how you feel about yourself internally. I go to the gym 5 times a week, and I weighed myself recently and saw that I'd lost a bit of weight. And I thought that if I'd lost weight, I'd look prettier, which meant that I'd be happier. And I was initially, but the happiness was short-lived. Again, you have to get to the root cause of why you feel like you're not good enough. And I still have a goal of looking good in a dress by summer, because as a gym rat, you always want to improve, you always set goals for yourself. And yes, whilst it would be nice to look like a 90s supermodel, it's also okay if you don't look like that. During that time, I also started losing friends, and when I started going to the gym, my circle got smaller and smaller, and this is often the side of, quote, pretty privilege that we don't talk about. And although I hate to perpetuate the woe is me, my life is so hard, I'm better looking than everyone else and all of you are just jealous of me, it can be true sometimes. And this isn't what I'm saying for myself, not me, but I have seen and heard stories involving women and men who are attractive facing unnecessary hate. Furthermore, attractive women are usually reduced to their looks and are often objectified because some men believe that all they have to offer is, you know what I'm talking about. Speaking of that, I watched a documentary quite some time ago called, I think it's Sexual Exploitation, and it documented the life of being a video model in the early 2000s. Do you guys remember video models or video vixens? They were essentially dancers, models, or actresses who appeared in music videos, sometimes in provocative ways, and they were a thing before IG models and OnlyFans girls, and it was more or less about different video models talking about their experiences being harassed by some of the biggest men in the music industry. And only one woman dared to speak out against the objectification that she experienced in the music industry through releasing a tell-all book, and she got blackballed in the industry, and that was Corinne Steffens. In addition to objectification, and this is just something that I've noticed, I don't know if this can be proven scientifically, I've noticed that the most attractive people are typically the ones who are struggling to find love. Of course, them being attractive, can help in terms of being able to meet new people. However, a lot of the conventionally attractive people that I know are finding it difficult to find love and to keep it. And those who are in relationships are unhappy because they're dealing with toxicity, infidelity, and so forth. And you'd think that being blessed with bewitchingly good looks, you'd think, wouldn't finding love be a walk in the park? But obviously not, because we can sit here and name a list of beautiful women who have been cheated on. And of course men, however, I mainly gear towards speaking from a female perspective because of course I'm a woman. Growing up as a woman, you are constantly told that there are a set of guidelines that you must follow in order to find and keep a man, with one of them being stay attractive, don't gain weight, don't let yourself go, because if you do, that's grounds for him to leave you. Of course, amongst other things, like cooking, a way to a man's heart is through his stomach, cleaning, fulfilling your wifely duties, if you know what I mean, because I'm trying to keep things PG. Of course, men have their hardships as well, but I've had this conversation before with other men, and they're probably going to be listening to this right now, so I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I find that men can redeem themselves in other aspects of life, for example, financially, or being tall, or having a nice car, or being funny. If a woman is unattractive, then that overshadows any other redeeming qualities that she may possess. In response, she'll probably succumb to societal pressure to surgically alter her appearance if she has the financial means to do so. But say she doesn't, and if she does, she'll only be scrutinized for catfishing or being insecure or you should just love yourself. So really there's no winning. I understand that not everyone will agree, but the reason I say this is because I have been a part of conversations where I've heard women say he's not my type physically, but he's rich or he's tall or he's got a good personality. Me personally, I rarely hear men say stuff like that. Anyway guys, thank you for listening. I know that was probably a lot to unpack, but let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you think looks play a role in how you're treated, or is there more than meets the eye? Have you benefited from the halo effect / pretty privilege, or were you like me, an ugly duckling who grew up? Let me know, and please don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe if you liked it. Bye!